Hey, this is Chris of Rekkid Talk, and we're going to do 5 records in 5 minutes. And today the theme of it is my 5th anniversary making videos, slightly past April 17th, 2021. I made my very first video ever, and now it's a little bit past that in the year 2026. If you want to follow along as a thread, here is your first prompt. First prompt, show a record that came out when you were 5 years old. For me, that would be 1974, and so this is Frank Zappa's Apostrophe, probably the most popular Zappa album ever, maybe Hot Rats as well. I remember my parents having this record, and I would play it when I was a kid, because I was a big Zappa fan when I was a kid. In particular, I thought Don't Eat the Yellow Snow. I thought that was a great song when I was 5 years old. And now I'm much older and much more mature, and I still like Don't You Eat That Yellow Snow. Next topic, pick an album that is 5 years old. So this would be an album from the year 2021. And so I'm going to pick Natural Information Society with Evan Parker and their album Dissension Out of Our Constrictions. This album was released on April 16th, 2021, exactly one day before I released my first video ever. And so this was recorded live, kind of avant-garde jazz. So Josh Abrams, who's the leader of Natural Information Society, he plays the djembe, which is this North African lute-like instrument. There's a bass clarinetist, a drummer, and a harmonium in the usual band. And then they had Evan Parker as a guest playing soprano saxophone. Third prompt is to show a 5-inch record. Now, most of us have 12-inch records. Lots of us have 7-inch records. Some of us have 10-inch records. Almost none of us have 5-inch records, including me. So there is a alternative. You can show a CD, 5 inches. That came out when you were 5 squared years old, when you were 25 years old. So for me, that would be the year 1994, Sebadoh in Tokyo, live at the Loft, July 6, 1994. So, of course, this is a live album. It's got a lot of stuff off the Bake Sale album and stuff a little bit before. There's like a Flipper cover, and I think there's a Husker Du cover on here. And it's pretty wild and frantic and raw, and I think it's great stuff. So, yeah, Sebadoh live in Tokyo. Fourth prompt, show the 5th album by somebody. And so I'm going to show one of my favorite female artists whose last name begins with the letter H. That, of course, would be PJ Harvey. I don't show PJ Harvey a lot, but I'm going to show PJ Harvey today. So this was her 5th studio album, which came out in the year 2001, which would be 25 years ago. Maybe it might be 2002. It's actually 2000. Okay, whatever. And anyway, this is called Stories from the City, Stories from the Sea. This is a big critic's darling, won like the Mercury Award. This is a recent repress on that 180-gram vinyl. I think it's fine in sort of a more sort of adult alternative version of PJ Harvey. I'm still probably preferring some of her earlier stuff like Rid of Me and Dry. And so then the final question is to pick a record that is worth about $5. So I have 5 US dollars, 5 American dollars here. I'm not showing a $5 bill because I don't happen to have a $5 bill with me. It'd be 5 Canadian dollars, Australian dollars, euros, British pounds. I realize if you're Chilean pesos or Japanese yen or Norwegian krone, this is not going to make a lot of sense. But a record that's worth about $5, so I'm going to pick the most ubiquitous $5 record that exists. If you are a regular viewer of my channel, you know what's coming. The most $5 album ever out there. It's Linda Ronstadt, Living in the USA, Linda on roller skates. It's even a gatefold. Look at that sweet diner. $5 would have bought you a lot of food back in the late 70s.